Today we're going to go through another mastering session and I'm going to dissect what I did for a track of Anna Winkin. It's a more pop track but still with a heavy low end, and I thought it was interesting to show you another style of music because every track and every style requires different approaches and different techniques. So without any further ado, let's dive into the music. Okay, so I'm going to play you a level matched A-B. This is a very nice mix already. Let's play that one. And after. There are quite a lot of things happening in there. So first element in the chain is my Knif Soma EQ emulation, and this one has been used for just a tiny little thing. It's used in mid-side mode, and actually I use it to beef up a bit the subs. Let's listen without. You hear the difference? So we are doing two things at the same time. I'm increasing really the thumb on the kick in the subs to give it an extra extension. I felt the kick was a bit gentle. I'm gonna bypass this one for the moment. And these are also off. So the body and the beefiness of the kick was a bit lacking, and the beauty of Soma is that it's actually not only increasing the frequencies but also creating some extra harmonic content. So it's boosting that frequency and creating some harmonics, and it helps the kick to get a bit denser, a bit thicker, and it goes through. But also I had something happening. If you pay attention, I'm going to play maybe something earlier in the track that I'm going to fix in several rows. Yeah, we hear it here. You hear the toms, they have a very wide stereo image, and it goes down very low. I could even maybe show this to you like this. If I go here, correlation, turn this on, and I remove the filter. Here around 130. If I play the sides only, we still have information pretty low, and I felt this was catching too much of the attention on those percussions on the sides. I like the panning, but I felt the low end panning was a bit too much. So I went for the side, and on the side I reduced it just by 1 decibel. So before and after. It's subtle, but it feels already like more sustained and more centered for the punch part. Then about this kick and the bass, I couldn't get there where I wanted with only using the Knif Soma. So I went for Basslane, and in this case actually I didn't narrow the stereo field. I used this just as my own preset says, sub thickens. So the idea here is really like for everything that is super low to add a bit of harmonic content, very low level, pretty dampened, so it's very tamed because this is filtering everything from 128 Hz. So I'm just creating harmonics in the mid part, not in the side. So in the center part, I'm creating harmonics for the low end on that low end. So let's listen to that. Now I felt that the kick was pretty nice and round, and I'm gonna play the same part with the bass line. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. And this is gorgeous. Before and after with both. Take it easy. much rounder. We lose a bit of that knock on the kick, but it's great. The track doesn't need a strong knocking kick. We like something round and full, right? Next, I trust the Unisum, and this is just to add some glue to the track. It's reacting a bit more on the lows and on the highs. I have it working smoothly with a bit of a gentle knee, so it's not reacting too fast. It's getting in and out, but it's adding some slight groove. Let's listen without. It's making the whole thing a bit more moving. It's less static. Without. It's even adding some movement to the lows. If we listen, for example, to the low end. It's printing that movement in a nice way and playing, in my impression, with the groove. I'm not going to dive into the depth of how I set this up. If you're curious to know more about Unisum, I made a very long video about it. Be sure to check it out. Then comes Pro-Q 4, and what happens in there is very little delicate mid-side action and using linear phase for that. Also, again, I talked about linear phase in my phase Bible and why you want to use linear phase when doing mid-side processing. But so here what happens is it's just a bit controlling this low-medium area, both spectrally and in a stereo field way. I feel the vocal is a bit better in place already here. It's still a bit moving, but it's better in place. Some of the chest tones of the vocal poke still a bit too much, but it's better controlled, and the whiz is better controlled as well. Especially this one, let's play this one in solo. Beautiful, it's evening things out. Okay, now let's dive into the next part, which is the punch of the kick. At this stage, I felt we had something that was working very nice. We had the density that I liked for the kick and the low end and the bass line, but I felt that the kick, regarding my first remark with the Knif Soma, the knock, I didn't want the knock, I didn't want the kick to be like strong and impactful, hard hitting, but yet I wanted some of the impact, and we lost some of the impact. And so this is why I'm pushing this a little bit, just a tiny little bit. Let's listen without. J'ai quitté ma maison. J'ai quitté ma maison. This is working a bit like a transient designer. It's just increasing a bit of the contrast, right? It's can play the delta. Very tiny, very little thing, but j'ai quitté ma maison. J'ai quitté ma maison. Just adding a little bit of contrast on that kick. Then big lifting. And this is because the bass line was very nice. It's a deep and full bass line, and we got already to a point where we controlled the harmonic part of the bass line, and I liked what I had here, what I did with the Knif and the Basslane. Yet there is something about this kind of bass-driven music with long sustained basses where the density of the low end is really key. And if you play this here, now let's play it without ozone. You feel the bass is there, but it's not really supporting the whole track. It has been denser already, but I was lacking some of that sustained energy of really like this kind of long driven bass lines. You want them to really be the foundation of the track. They're all the time, and you want them to beef up the whole thing. So without, again, and with, what is happening here? I'm going to play the delta. It's lifting for this area. It's lifting the sustains. Without, you hear without the sustain, we have the kick here and the bass is there. It's just below, but when we add the sustain, the bass starts to be on par with the kick. Some might argue that we lack contrast now on the kick, and this is a choice. It's really a matter of where do you want the focus. And I think this is not a techno track. It's a very pop with important bassline aspect to the track. And so I prefer to have the focus more on the bassline and to get them more working as one rather than having the kick punching through. Okay, next I have this maximizer, which is just actually a tool to add some soft clipping. It's barely limiting. But it's adding those two elements, the soft clip and the transient. So soft clip is beefing up the low level information, adding a bit of density, extra density. You feel this is also thickening up the low end, and it's adding this low end and low medium presence and richness. So I'm just going to A/B the whole thing before. So in today's video, It might seem that I use a lot of tools, but many are doing just a tiny little bit. And if you pay attention, the difference between the mix and the master isn't crazy, because the mix was already very great. Because I got rid of the excessive low-end energy on the side percussions that was making higher peaks, because I use some multiband control. All in all, everything works together with a bit of compression with Unisum. It's not using heavy compression. It's not changing the whole mix, the whole balance. It's just blending everything together in order for all the elements to have the nice space to blossom, have a nice spectral balance, have a nice density without aggressivity, and having a nice dynamic control without squeezing everything at the end limiter. So I hope this other style of music and this other approach was helpful. I hope you learned some things today, and if you did, be sure to hit a little like and to subscribe to the channel. It's always helping this channel a lot. If you have questions, if you want to know other things, or if you want to have remarks, let me know in the comment section and I'll happily answer those ones. Take care, see you soon for more. Bye bye.